famous radical non-duality speaker and speakers that follow this particular speaking, all shall remain nameless, say that this message came through this same speaker, or there is simply this, minus the non-existent you, in the 90s and never appeared before. Stuff like Advaita Vedanta, Dzogchen, Zen, etc., or any other non-dual teachings are pointless with regardless of recognition or awakening, as they come from a teacher who claims to know something the student doesn't, already isn't, and reinforces the need to become in the student. What are your thoughts on this? Or morose of a whimsical question. God, that was hard to read. A famous radical non-duality speaker and speakers that follow this particular speaker, all shall remain nameless, say that this message came through this same speaker. All there is simply this, minus the non-existent you. I don't understand the minus the non-existent you. In the 90s and never appeared before. So if I just take out that, say that this message came through this speaker, all there simply is, in the 90s and never appeared before. Stuff like Advaita Vedanta, Dzogchen, Zen, or any other non-dual teaching are pointless with regardless to recognition awakening, as they come from a teacher who claims to know something the student doesn't, already isn't, and reinforces the need to become in the student. What are your thoughts on this? Yeah, thank you. Good question. Yes. I'm just waiting for something to pop up. Not here deep in contemplation. I'm just like waiting. In the end, it's all love. Everything. The whole world over is love, looking for love. So you go to the train station and you watch people busily hurrying along trying to get somewhere. And the place they're trying to get to is love. But they think that love is in the future. So they're busily hurrying to it. Rather than love is the essence. Like if there's a going in, there's a discovery of what you're looking for in yourself, not as a person, not as a thing, not as a name, but as the essence, which is nameless. So all different teachers and teachings, they teach a variety of different things, and the seeker will grab onto whatever makes the seeker feel better or worse. Basically, whatever creates or maintains their identity. And that's what happens. Because the seeker can only look in time for its freedom. So whatever teacher's teaching is looking at, when it's looked through the view of the seeker, it will always be about what I can become as a seeker. The mind, person, is always about becoming something. So it will listen to this message that says that this message only came through them in the 90s and has never appeared before in the whole entire universe. The seeker can take hold of that and can make it an identity of being a special student. And the seeker will. Or the seeker can reject that and hate that teacher and think that teacher is nonsense and rebel against that teacher and write all types of derogatory comments about that teacher. And that's the nature of the seeker. However, in every being, human being, there is an experiencing which is free, that doesn't hold on to words of it being one special teaching from the 90s, or one special teacher, or this message being right, or that message being right, or which is the better teacher. So it doesn't hold on to that. It doesn't hold on to anything in this life. It's not attached to anything. It doesn't mind if the person does this or that, or if the world shows in this way or that way. It's absolute love. It's experiencing itself for no reason. And it's totally at home. It's total peace. And this is the greatest thing there is in this world. It's all that's ever wanted. It's absolute freedom. It's the end game, the end boss. And that which you are just doesn't care about this or that. She said this, he said that, you said this, I said that. So what is it in this talk? What is it in the talk of the other teacher that said this about the message never appearing before until the 90s when they first spoke? What is it in those talks, or when is it in those talks, where everything collapses? Where there's a resonance with this moment? What's happening there? So when you're listening to the speaker and then suddenly there's no speaker anymore and there's no listening, there is simply hearing and speaking happening simultaneously. No divide. No divide. So who we truly are just doesn't care about these dramas of she said this, he said that, this one's better, this one's better. The nature of a language in a way is comparison. So there's always going to be this problematic issue when you're listening to a speaker of the words which they select are negating other words. So there's always going to be this problem of better and lower than. she's better, he's better. But non-duality is about piercing that bubble and seeing what is behind duality. What is behind this and that? I said, she said, he said, they said, better than, worse than. True teaching, non-true teaching. This is the true freedom. And this is something that no one can ever give you. You cannot buy it in words. You cannot buy it in practice. It's there in you. It's the essence. It's who you truly are. And this is why this is absolute unconditioned love. This is unconditioned love calling to itself, home, 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 because you can't buy it off me. You can't get it from my words. It's there in the background, experiencing everything. But what's happening is the person is, or the energy there is focused on this I am becoming, I am something, and claiming to be this. And then that's taking up the whole space. So what you truly are, who you truly are, is seemingly in the background, but it's actually everywhere. Like if we take the consciousness teaching, is consciousness contained anywhere? Or is it in the walls, in the curtain, in the radiator, in the computer, in my voice? But when there's identification with the person, then all the energy is caught up in this daydream of you. What is it that's not daydreaming now? This is home. This is freedom. This is freedom. Yeah, nice.